Hello there. Can we not? Hello there. It's nice to see you again. Uh, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the channel a little bit. As you might have already noticed, was it be over here, up here? I rebranded the channel. Um, and that's just mostly because, well, I wanted to restart filming again. It's been what, maybe 6 months since I had last posted before this past week, and I don't know, it was pushing like 6 months between videos then. And I don't know. I loved making bird videos, I really do, and I did. But, way back when I decided, like, hey, it might be fun to make, birding content, I had an idea of what I wanted it to be, and it never once resembled what I was making. And I really just kind of sit down with myself and be like, was this something that I would watch? And I don't know. I don't know if I could, if I would watch it, like, unobjectively from myself. I don't think it was very interesting. A slideshow of bird pictures isn't what you go to YouTube to watch. Uh, so I kind of fell into like a hole of I didn't know how to make it better without either A, becoming better at photography and filming, or B, become better at like action vlogging. And I just really wasn't in a position to do either. And I was, I mentioned it a couple times, at the time of when I was filming more regularly. I had fallen on the ice out here, and it really just shut me down. It hurt to move around, and it's tough. I really kind of just sucked the life out of me, and I didn't want to go out and take advantage of all these amazing places up here to go birding. And I was really limited to. I'm not, I'm not editing this. Uh, I was really limited to basically what I could get in the backyard, and then I was just having problems with that. Uh, we have like neighborhood deer that just completely decimate my bird feeders, you know, on a nightly basis, and it's tough for me to find good like hot pepper seed, and it's expensive. Like it's more expensive than I would do otherwise. And I don't know, it's just there was a lot of things kind of going into it that just made it less worthwhile. Like I still took pictures, I just didn't really feel up to making a video for it. Uh, and then I didn't know what I wanted to use the if I was going to film that, what was I going to put up on the channel? And I don't know. I kind of had to live my life a little bit. Um, but I don't know. Recently, I've been wanting to come back, and it's just kind of a long about way to getting to why I rebranded, and that's just look. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I love all 338 of my viewers. I really appreciate that you subscribe to my channel. I don't know why, uh, but I mean, I'm honestly doing this for me. Way back when I started doing the Mandalorian videos, that was 100% an exercise of having me do something I wasn't comfortable doing. And like right now, I feel very comfortable just talking to the camera, knowing that I'm going to upload this onto the internet for anyone to see. Uh, and that's cool. I think that's amazing progress. Is it good and entertaining? I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly not making it to be entertaining. Uh, But I don't know. I just kind of want to, I've been trying not to use swear words around, but I just kind of want to fuck around and find out. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of make stuff. I'm really into Godzilla stuff right now, and I feel like it makes sense for me to maybe, vlog about it. I'm pretty happy with the video I posted the other day. It might not be interest to a lot of people, but I think it's interesting to some people. Um, and that's something I did very easily. I didn't edit the video. I'm just using my iPhone right now, and it's on a really crummy stand, and I just did it right over there on a bookshelf. Uh, and it came out fine. Is it as good as some of the other channels that I watch that do the same thing? The very day I posted that video, a great channel, Shinrub Jira, posted a video opening like a whole box of those Super 7 box, and it infinitely better than my video. But of course it is. He's good at what he does, and he's awesome. You should go watch it. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna do some of that. I'm gonna go to the Pine State Expo, which is kind of like a geeky Comic Con like thing in Portland on Sunday, and I'm gonna try to film that. I don't know how, because I don't really have like a holder for my iPhone, so it's literally gonna be me holding the phone, and I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. I can't promise I'll upload anything from it, but we'll see. Um, hey Benny. Uh, but there's other stuff I want to film, and it can be whatever I kind of want to film. Like if I want to talk about Star Wars, then I'll sit down and talk about Star Wars. If I want to talk about the state of politics in Maine, I'll do that. If I want to talk about Maine, I'll do that. I have pocket ideas of things. My wife has gotten really into indoor house plants. Maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know if you can tell, but since you last saw me, I've lost a lot of weight. And I'm trying to eat healthier and easier. And there's a ton of content out there on that, but I mean, I can do that too, and I might. I want to try to hike more this summer, and I'll film that. And I'll still do bird stuff. I might still do the same format of what I had been doing. It's just that's not going to be like the sole content of my channel. And I really, really, really have had an urge to jump back into Skyrim, and I'll totally live stream that. I've gone on enough, but I haven't really talked about the new name at all. So, again, I live in Maine now, in Bangor area, Maine. Stephen King land, and I absolutely love it here. Like this is where I wanted to be, and it's everything I wanted it to be. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to call myself a Mainer because, I'm from away. But my God, I will try as hard as I can to be as close as I can to that. And I'm going to go on a tangent here from that, but we'll get to the point. So I love pro wrestling, and when I was a lot younger, I had fantasies of being a pro wrestler, and what I would be, because I can't just be me, the pro wrestler. You need the persona, you need the show, you need the name, and while that ship has definitely sailed on becoming a professional wrestler, and I watch it enough to know what's going on, but I don't actively watch it. I don't know. I still like thinking about like what my gimmick be, and I don't remember how I landed on it, but Paul Bunyan is a big thing up here, because this part of Maine and whatever. It was the lumber industry, it was the paper mills, and I mean, if you think of like the generic stereotypical Mainer, they're wearing a flannel and got a beard. They look just like a lumberjack. And so I just kind of like thought like, and you take some wrestler names, just simple names like Samoa Joe and Hangman Page, just very simple, like two name monikers. And I don't know, so I was trying to think of like playing on it originally, not with my name, like, but like I was trying to think about a fun moniker just to have, like, neither noun or descriptor name. And it's not super well known, I'm assuming, because it's not as interesting as people want it to be, but way back when the Americas were first discovered by the Europeans, found, stumbled upon, I want to say there were stories up in this New England area. Gosh, I had looked it up recently, and I want to say it was Amerigo Vespucci, but I really don't know. And let's just say some dude, some explorer had started reporting tales of specifically a city with with streets paved of gold. Very akin to like El Dorado, and this just a fabled city. And this city was called Norumbega. And as far as people can tell, like there's a lot of thoughts on the fact that it was probably was a real place. I mean, obviously not paved with gold and whatnot, but a lot of people feel like it was in in the whereabouts of where Bangor is now. So that's something that's kind of a folkish historical significance to this area here. And I don't check it like Norumbega. That's just, it's fun to say. It has a nice je ne sais quoi about it. And so I was thinking like Norumbega Ned, Norumbega Pete, just something like very Texas Pete, Montana Joe. I liked it, and like it in my mind, this was someone wearing a very typical lumberjack outfit. Could be a dead ringer for Paul Bunyan, but then you can vary it from that. Like he's an activist. He's a vegetarian. He stands for a lot of things that I do, and I don't know. At some point, like, to be honest, I think it was I was joining Blue Sky. I was trying to think of a name to put in for my thing, and I just kind of just stumbled upon just do Norumbega J. Because that's I'm not. This is a person that's me, but not quite me. And I don't know. It stuck, and I like it. That's the biggest thing. I like it a lot. And that's where I was like, you know what? Fine. Norumbega J. That could be that's me. And it is. It's me. It's everything that I am stand for. It's just, great. I like it. And that's pretty much to it. And it's kind of how I'm going forward with the channel. I'm going to do stuff that I like. And I'm going to try to be positive and sincere about it. And a lot of this is about therapy for myself to like myself. And it seems like a very Rube Goldberg-esque way to go about trying to find a way to love myself. But that's what this is. And I had a breakthrough recently where, I've talked in therapy about trying to find what I actually want. And at the end of the day, this popped in my head. And I want to be loved ferociously. And the wild thing about like wanting to be loved is, there's only one person that you really can count on and need that to be, or like that person that has to love you ferociously, and it's yourself. So that's the mission of this channel now. So welcome to watch me loving myself ferociously. And we're going to cut it here because this is really long. Uh, I hope you all have a great day. I really hope you stick around. And I hope some people in the future watching this video, decide to stick around too. And I wish I had a fun way to close things, but I don't. But I'll just talk to you all later.